It's been 10 years since me, Brendan, and Olivia lost our mom, Jo Picard. It was so sudden, so painful, and happened so fast that we never got the chance to create a tribute that would memorialize who she was, what she stood for, and the values she instilled in us. Our mom has 6 grandchildren that she never got to meet. That's why we made this Grandma Lori movie, to create a living memory that helps her grandchildren know her better. We want to honor our mom's life. Her grandchildren, Henry, Garrett, Elena, Brendan Jr., Karina, and Ellie are her legacy. All of the life lessons she taught us live on in each of you.
Yeah, she was a beautiful baby. She smiled all the time, but the only thing, she did not like to sleep.
Out here in the fields, I found for my meals. I get my back into my living. I don't need to fight to prove I'm right. I don't need to be forgiven.
Growing up, I always looked up to her. She was so much fun, and she always took time and would hang out with me. Most older sisters don't want to be with the younger sister, but she wasn't that way. We would sit in her room, and she would play her albums, and I just had such a nice time being with her. She always included me.
Don't cry, don't raise your eye. It's only teenage.
So then we discovered that she really had a beautiful voice. So we always tried to steer whatever gift she had.
The fire, don't look past my shoulder. The exodus is here. The happy ones are here. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks
And he dressed up like Santa, and he would always come to the house on our street. So I talked to him, and we got the dog, and he brought the dog into the house and said, "This is your Christmas gift."
And I had no idea.
Everybody was so excited.
I had to phone someone, so I picked on you. Oh, oh, hey, that's far out. So you heard him too. Oh, oh, switch on the TV.
That was a special time. That was our time together.
Look out your window, I can see his light. If we can sparkle, he may land tonight. Don't tell your papa, or he'll get us locked up inside. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it.
I remember one Christmas that Lori had been working at the ice rink. So this is the first year that she had money of her own, and she went out and bought us special presents that she kept telling us about, and we were so excited to unwrap them. And I remember she bought me pink satin pajamas that were so beautiful, and I remember I was always so proud that she got them for me. And she also bought me a mouse, which we thought was a boy and called it Charlie, and it ended up being a girl named Charlene, and she had babies. So, it only had one mouse, then we had 13 mice.
The star that gives us light has been gone a while, but it's not an illusion.
My mom celebrated her 18th birthday, high school graduation, and birth of her first child all in the same month. That presented lots of challenges, but growing up, it wasn't really something we ever noticed. We just felt loved. Our little world was in constant change, but her love was consistent. Every waking minute, we'd hear how smart and talented and special we were.
Something in your eyes took 1,000 years, 1,000 years. Hold me close and don't let me go. Hold me close, like I'm someone that you might know. Hold me close, the darkness just lets us see who we are. I got your light inside of me.
When life threw a curveball, she was always there to pick us up. She might not have always had the answers, but she always kept things in perspective. No matter how big the problem was, one of her favorite sayings was, "Nobody died, right? We'll get through this."
We are born, we begin to forget the very reason we came. But you, I am sure I met long before the night the stars went out. We're meeting up again. Hold me close. Hold me close.
When I think about my mom, I can't help but to feel like she was the type of person that this world needed. I know a lot of people say that they are the type of person that would give you the shirt off their back, but my mom would, and I'm pretty sure she had. She was so kind to anyone, not just people in the grocery store shopping, but the people most often people aren't as kind to, people on the street. She felt compassion for people she didn't even know. She had a special heart.
Hey, Libby, you want to cut the cake? Yes. I'm gonna cut the cake. Put your knife.
I want to see if that purple tastes good.
Uh-oh.
Looking out at the road rushing under my wheels.
Lori really was my best friend. She was a constant. You knew that no matter what, you always could count on her and her love. She was always there for you. She always cared. She always took the time to be there if you needed her. And I truly miss her.
Running on empty, running wild, running into the sun, but I'm running behind. Gotta do what you can just to keep your love alive. Try not to confuse it with what you do to survive.
So just that any time that there was any conflict going on in my life, that was the person that I would turn to, and she basically already knew what was wrong before I even told her. So it was like comfortable for me to talk to her, and understood each other very well. So that's one of the main things I miss the most.
She did so many nice things for people. I mean, she was just a very special, gifted girl. And I love her very much.
I remember struggling so hard in school, and she would just encourage me. She would give me cards with pictures of animals on them and write how proud she was of me inside them, and I didn't even do anything except make it through a day of school.
Wow! This keeps your coffee warm.
Oh, cool. That's perfect for you.
It is. Thank you. That is the coolest thing. Look for that.
Lori had the most amazing musical gift. She not only sang beautifully, but she also could play the piano without any music at all. She would just sit down, touch a couple keys, and she could play any song that you asked her to play. I always tell Hannah that her love of music and her voice reminds me of her Aunt Lori.
High school football games on Friday nights were a special time in our family. Our mom loved watching us play together, but she also cooked team dinners every week.
Those dinners were special. And everybody, I mean, even the people on the team would look forward to it. It was like very special time. And she enjoyed that. She enjoyed every minute of it. So, and it wasn't about doing it for like, oh, look at me. You know, it was just something that she decided she wanted to do, and it became a tradition very quickly.
Hearing the announcer say "Walker to Walker" the first time I threw a pass to Brendan was one of my mom's proudest moments in her life. Her voice could always be heard, and so could the bell that she rang at every game of every season. Her support went far beyond cheering. My first year at quarterback, we were undefeated, and each game it felt like the stakes grew larger. After losing to another undefeated team, it felt like I let the whole town down. But I'll never forget the way my mom came in and sat with me, held my hand, and just explained that these moments feel bigger than they really are in the grand scheme of life. It was comfort when I needed it most.
If I could be king, even for a day, I'd take you as my queen. I'd have no one.
Lori's love of animals was evident since childhood. Horses and dogs held a special place in her heart. She loved music, books, and movies that really made you feel something. But her biggest passion was compassion. She embodied it. It wasn't just offering food to a homeless person, but sitting down to the meal with them, talking to them, getting to know them. She touched people that were mostly invisible to the rest of us. One of her favorite charitable organizations was The Homeless Voice, a newspaper that covers issues impacting local homeless people while raising money to help these communities. I remember once growing up, she literally gave our car to a family in need. I was dumbfounded and asked her why, and she just said that we had another one and that they needed it more. She led with her big heart.
Won't you come see about me? I'll be alone, dancing, you know it, baby. Tell me your troubles and doubts, giving me everything inside and out. Love strange, so real in the dark. Think of the tender things that we were working on. Slow change may pull us apart. When the light gets into your heart, baby, don't you forget about me.
We remember Lori for her traits and her actions. She did things big and made every family tradition more memorable and fun, like not just watching the Steelers on Sundays, but making the best food and then going outside at halftime to burn the opponent's apparel for good luck. We remember these things as we create new memories with our own children, doing everything we can to make sure they feel connected to their Grandma Lori. Bipolar and addiction ultimately led to her suicide, but her deepest life lessons came in her darkest moments. Failure and struggle build character and create growth. There was great pain, especially toward the end of her life, but we are who we are because we went through it together. We're stronger for it. We're better people for it. Lori gave us her ability to see the world a little more like she did, living with the belief that every single person we meet in life is going through their own struggle and has their own unique lesson to share if we can open our hearts and minds enough to listen.
I'll put us back together at heart, baby. Don't you? There's so many wars we fight. There's so many things we.
The last 10 years have been filled with weddings, babies, and life milestones, and at each one, we honor Lori in our own special way.
She was the least judgmental person I've ever met, and I try to be like her when it comes to that. She just cared about people and animals so much. I got my love of animals from her, and now Ellie is carrying on that tradition. My mom would love how Ellie will remember dogs' names over the people who own them. I miss her every day, but I know she's looking down here smiling at all of us.
So many things we deny.
An angel in the house, they say, will guard your family night and day. Grandma Lori has always been the angel in our house. In life, she protected her family, her friends, even complete strangers through selflessness and unconditional love. And now, it is in her spirit that we infuse these same traits into our children and the way we raise them. She will always be a part of our life, our home, and their homes, guarding us and guiding us night and day.
The main thing that always catches me, that I catch myself, is just saying that I don't know what I would do without you. And if anything ever happened to you, I never understood why she was always so worried about me. But now I'm having kids and basically worry about everything from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed. You realize the love that she had was insurmountable. It takes having kids to realize the love that she had for all of us.